Hello, my name is Rajan Arora and welcome to my course Essentials of SQL Server Performance for Every Developer. You are watching the video of Module 2 Analyzing SQL Statements for Performance, Part 6 Rewriting SQL Statements for Improved Performance. If you are new to this course, please start it from the course introduction video for better understanding. Thank you. I have another statement in my editor window, and this statement is designed to get all of the courses section that no students are signed up for. So, you might imagine a university running a query like this at the start of a semester to find out any courses section that need to be cancelled. To accomplish this query is doing a left join and then looking for any course enrollment records that are null, because that indicates that no one signed up for the class. We can see the result in the lower pane, and we see that we do have a couple of sections that no one has signed up for. What we are really interested is the execution plan for this query. So let's take a look at that. If I mouse over the overall query here, we will see that there is an overall cost of 8, and if we look at the execution plan, it looks like that cost is being driven by the index seek lookups occurring against the index in the course enrollments table down here at the bottom. So, what is happening in these three operations here is that SQL Server is reading all of the offerings for the courses in a current semester, and then through this nested loop join, it is probing an index on the course enrollments table IX course enrollments course offering ID and looking up how many enrollments there are for that course. The issue here is that SQL Server is looking for all the enrollments for each course, when we really only need to know if there is any student enrolled in the course. Since we are looking up all the enrollments, this operation turns out to be pretty expensive, making our whole query pretty expensive. Now, in this case, the answer is not an index, but instead for us to change how we write this query. So, let's take an alternate approach. This version of the query uses the not exist clause to look for any course offerings that don't have any records in the course enrollments table. So, let's go ahead and run this version of query. And we see we get the same answer as before. So now let's take a look at the execution plan. And we see, if we mouse over this query, that our overall cost for this version of the statement is quite a bit lower, down around 0.85. And if we look at the entire plan, we notice this top operation here. And if we mouse over this, we see the description tell us that we are just going to return the first few rows from the previous operation, and looking down at the bottom, we see that the expression is top 1. So, it is actually just getting the first row from the index seek operation, which is over here to the right. So, what this means is that SQL Server is reading all of the course offerings just like it was doing before. But then in the nested loop join, what it is able to do is able to probe the index looking for any single row that matches the course offering ID number. So, SQL Server doesn't have to read the data for every student enrolled in the course. It is just looking to see if at least one student is in the course, and that's more efficient than getting the data for each and every student enrolled. So, think of this like you are searching an array of values. If you can jump out of this search when you find any value that matches what you are searching for, that's more efficient than having to find every value that matches. Because once you find the first matching value of course, you can jump out of this search function, and that's essential what's happening here. Now, I also want to point out that SQL Server is giving me a create index recommendation here. But in this case, I am actually choosing to ignore this suggestion. The recommendation here is basically SQL Server wants me to create an index on the course offerings table that contains every column of the table. So, effectively, I will be duplicating all of the data in the table. We will talk in the upcoming module about why this is not a good idea, but I want to point out this out so that you understand when SQL Server gives you this recommendation, you want to be sure and analyze what SQL Server is telling you, and that it makes sense, and don't simply create an index because SQL Server made a recommendation. The main point of the two queries we just looked at, though, is that the way to improve the performance of a SQL statement is to rewrite the statement in a different way. A subquery can be written as a join, or you might change a join to a subquery. And as we just showed, sometimes using the where exist or where not exist clause can improve a plan, because SQL Server can satisfy the condition with any record that matches the condition, instead of having to read all matching records from a table. So keep these options in mind when you tune your SQL statements. In many cases, in the modern version of SQL Server, the query optimizer is smart enough to find the best execution plan, regardless of how you write your statement. But there are few cases where writing your statement a different way will help the query optimizer find the more efficient plan. So keep this option in mind. So in the next video, I am going to summarize the common execution plan operations for better understanding. So let's jump ahead. If you like this video, please do share, like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you and see you in the next video.